You know that feeling. You're exhausted. You finally close your eyes. And then it starts. That sound, coming from 2 feet away, a noise that is somehow both rhythmic and completely unpredictable, like a dying engine trying to restart itself inside a human face. You lie there, staring at the ceiling, calculating how many hours of sleep you'll get if you fall asleep right now. The answer keeps getting smaller. Now imagine that same situation, except you're in a cave. There are no separate bedrooms, no couch to escape to, no spare room, no noise-canceling headphones, no passive-aggressive Google search for how to stop someone snoring without touching them. You are in a pile of humans sharing body heat for survival, and one of them sounds like a wounded animal. This was every night for most of human history. And here's what nobody talks about. Snoring wasn't just annoying in the Stone Age. It was potentially life-threatening, not for the snorer, for everyone else. Think about what nighttime actually meant 40,000 years ago. You're in the dark. Predators exist. Cave lions, hyenas, wolves, animals with far better night vision than you, actively hunting after sunset. The group's survival depended on someone staying alert, on being able to hear, on sound being useful information rather than noise. A snoring campmate wasn't just interrupting your sleep, they were broadcasting your location to everything in the dark that wanted to eat you. So, what did they do about it? The honest answer is probably the same things we still do today, just with fewer options and significantly more desperation. The first and most obvious solution was position. Snoring is dramatically worse when you sleep on your back. Ancient humans sleeping in piles on uneven ground, wrapped around each other for warmth, were almost certainly rolling their companions onto their sides without fully waking up. The same half-conscious elbow shove your partner gives you at 3 a.m. That reflex is not modern. That reflex is ancient. Embodied knowledge passed through 10,000 years of interrupted sleep. But position only goes so far. Here's where it gets interesting. Multiple ancient cultures developed specific remedies for snoring that show up in some of the earliest medical texts ever found. The Ebers Papyrus, an Egyptian medical document from around 1550 BCE, contains references to breathing difficulties during sleep and recommends inhaling herbal smoke and applying oil-based preparations to the nasal passages. Essentially ancient aromatherapy. Ancient nasal strips. They didn't understand airway obstruction. They just knew certain smells and substances seemed to open something up and make the noise stop. Various indigenous cultures use similar approaches. Steam inhalation, specific plant preparations, sleeping posture rituals. The details varied. The problem was universal. And then there's the social dimension. Because snoring in a communal sleeping group wasn't just a physical problem, it was a status problem. In tightly bonded prehistoric groups, your value to the group was constantly being assessed. Could you hunt? Could you carry? Could you stay awake on watch? A chronic snorer was someone who couldn't be trusted to sleep quietly, who compromised group safety, who kept everyone else from the rest they needed to function. There's anthropological evidence suggesting that in some groups, chronic disruptors of communal sleep, whether through snoring, nightmares, or restless movement, were sometimes moved to the edges of the sleeping group, not kicked out, not punished, just repositioned, away from the center near the perimeter. Which, if you think about it, is both logical and quietly brutal. The perimeter of a sleeping group in the Stone Age was where you were most exposed, farthest from the fire, closest to the dark. Being moved to the edge wasn't a formal punishment. It was just the group solving a problem with the tools available. The snorer probably didn't even know why it kept happening. But here's the part that genuinely surprised researchers who looked into this. Snoring rates in modern humans are significantly higher than they should be evolutionarily. We snore more than almost any other primate. And the leading theory for why involves something that happened relatively recently in our evolutionary timeline. Our faces changed as humans began cooking food, softening it, making it easier to chew. Our jaws gradually became smaller. Smaller jaws mean less space in the airway. Less space in the airway means more turbulence when air moves through during sleep. More turbulence means more noise. The very thing that made us smarter, more social, more human, cooking, may have also turned us into the noisiest sleepers on the planet. We cooked our way into a snoring epidemic that has lasted 300,000 years. Meanwhile, the person sleeping next to you in the Stone Age had zero framework for understanding any of this. They just knew that Grok, or whoever made an absolutely unacceptable sound every single night, and something had to be done about it. Some things they tried almost certainly didn't work. Some did accidentally for reasons they couldn't explain. Sound familiar? We still sell nasal strips, chin straps, special pillows, white noise machines, mouth guards in surgery. We have had thousands of years of civilization and accumulated scientific knowledge, and the best solution most people land on is still just quietly moving to the couch. Your ancestors were solving the exact same problem with rocks, leaves, and sheer social desperation. Here's the truth. Snoring is one of those problems that reveals something genuinely interesting about being human. It's not dramatic. It's not a disease or a disaster. It's just an irritating, persistent, deeply relatable inconvenience that has followed our species from the cave to the king-size mattress without ever fully being solved. Some things survive every technological revolution completely intact. The elbow and the ribs at 2 a.m. is one of them.